Hey everybody, this is Gary with Basecamp Trading. Let's talk about one of the aspects of trading that doesn't get talked about too much, and that's the unknowns. And one of those unknowns is news. And the news, unexpected news events or the unknowns, they can help you or they can hurt you. In this particular example, let's look at American Airlines. American gapped down, then kind of pushed back up, and then was trading sideways right there. So if you were trading that, you were probably waiting for a compression break. You're waiting because you were pretty well defined channel right here and right here. So you had a pretty well defined channel in American Airlines, and you were just waiting for the breakout. Now, this actually looked like, if you're looking at breakouts kind of the way we often do, you may have actually been kind of leaning to this breaking to the downside. And if it weren't for the news, it probably actually would have, because you can see money flow was weakening, momentum had gone negative, and this looked like it was about to actually break out to the downside. And again, it probably would have had it not been for the news. But then right here, Congress announced that they didn't want the airlines to furlough employees and that assistance was imminent, I believe was the wording on that. And then look, you broke out to the upside and made a nice rip to the upside. So if you were playing the breakout, and again, you probably were looking at the channel waiting for some kind of a compression break. And if you were trading the breakout, the news really helped you, gave you a nice spike to the upside. Same thing with Boeing. Let's take a look at Boeing. Now, Boeing wasn't an airlines, but obviously Boeing is a big supplier to the airlines. But same thing. Boeing gapped down, was just kind of chopping around. You had a little wider range here in Boeing. And again, same thing. It looked like maybe it was going to actually break out to the downside. Money flow had gone negative. Momentum was negative. And you looked like maybe you were going to break out to the downside. But you would have had your channel in there waiting for the break one side or the other. Out came the news and bam, Boeing ended up ripping to the upside. So there's an example of how the unknown, because again, that was an unknown news event. It wasn't a scheduled news event, but it was a release, and there's an example of how the unknown could help you. Let's take a look at one of the ways that it does not help you. This is our ES chart, our Renko chart, and the ES, we had a trend reversal breakout to the downside. We broke, pulled back into our moving averages, set up a slow line zero touch, and a nice move to the downside. And I personally happen to be short the ES, and this trade was moving nicely and was becoming really a nice profitable trade. And then bam, here came the news, ripped it back the other way, and completely ruined the short trade. So, there's no way to anticipate for sure, a news event like that. When you have unscheduled announcements, it can have a big impact on the markets. And while you can't really plan for that, you do have to keep in mind, or at least have it in the back of your mind, that something like that could happen, and you need to be prepared, because the unknowns, they can help you and they can hurt you.